I'm Jeannie from the Brunswick Community College Fitness and Aquatic Center. Today we're going to do a little bit of yoga. All you need is a mat, bare feet or socks. I'm going to focus today on some hip opening sequences. This is going to help you open up the front of the hips, the side of the hips, and also help with any low back pain you might be having. I have with me Alan and Ashley. Alan's going to be showing some modified versions, so feel free to follow him if this is your first time or you have extra tight hips today. All right, let's get started. We're going to get started at the top of your mat, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to do a couple of modified sun salutations. So we're going to inhale as we sweep those arms up, reach to the sky. Exhale as you swan dive, flat back fold. Inhale as you come halfway up with a nice flat back, and exhale to fold. Release that head and neck. Inhale, arms out, flat back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're going to take it all the way down to the mat. Inhale as you sweep those arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. And we're going to step our feet back to a plank. Alan's going to drop to the knees in a modified plank. Ashley's going to stay up, shoulders over the wrists, fingers are spread. Think about the pads of your fingers clawing the mat to protect the wrists. And then you're going to shoot those shoulders forward, hugging the elbows in by your sides as we come down in chaturanga all the way to the mat. Keeping those hands glued in by the outside of the chest, shoulders roll down and back, tops of the feet press into the mat, that chin tucks. Take a deep breath, inhale. On the exhale, press up and hold. So in that cobra, you don't need to worry about straightening the arms at first. We just want to hug in by the sides, reaching that heart center forward. Press the tops of the feet back into the mat. Take 1 more deep breath, inhale. Exhale, release it. Curl those toes under, and we'll press it all the way back into your downward dog. In your downward dog, those fingers are still spread. Shoulders roll down away from the ears, and you're going to lift those hips up to the ceiling. So reach up to the tippy toes here. Feel those hips lift up, and then start to pedal out the feet, dropping the heels, one and then the other, lengthening through the hamstring. On the next inhale, lift that right leg up nice and high. Reach through the big toe. So lengthen, lengthen, nice and long. Good. 1 long line from the big toe down to the middle finger. And then we'll take that right leg and draw it all the way through between the hands. Ashley's going to stay up. Alan's going to drop that front knee down as we come into our low lunge. So fingertips are framing the foot, shoulders roll down and back, chest lifts up. Your focus here is sinking into the front of that right hip. So as you sink into that front knee, think about pulling up on that back knee. So if your knee is dropped, you're just working on sinking into the front knee. If your knee is lifted, I want you to work on pulling up on that back knee, engaging your quadricep. 2 more deep breaths here. And everybody's going to release it down to the back knee. From here, we're going to focus on opening up that left hip. So start to send the knee forward, out in front of the ankle. So be careful with that back knee, making sure you're not on the kneecap here. So you want to roll towards the top of the knee. The only time you're ever going to hear me say that I want your knee out in front of your ankle is now. So really shift that knee forward. Roll the shoulders back and lift through the chest. So Alan's going to stay right here. Ashley and I are going to take it to the next level. We're going to walk our hands up to the knee. Roll the shoulders back and think about arching away from that front knee. Breathing into the front of that left hip. And now our fullest expression of the pose, we reach those arms back. So shoulders roll down away from the ears, relaxing through and sinking a little bit deeper on your next exhale. And bring those hands back down. We're gonna take that front leg and straighten it out. So starting up nice and tall, a little bit of balance here. Hands come to the hips. Shoulders roll down and back. Hinging from the hip, you're gonna reach the chin out over the toes. Take some deep breaths here. So depending on how tight your hamstring is, you're either gonna stay here or we're gonna take it to a fold. So we either stay right here or release the hands down, round through the back, trying to tuck your nose towards your knee. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And come on up, take that right leg, bring it back behind you. Hands come out, spread those fingers, curl the toes under and lift those hips up, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Shoulders are back, hips lift up. As we breathe, it's in and out through the nose, our nice deep yoga breathing. And we're gonna make that other side match. So reach that left leg nice and long. Again, as if you're being pulled in opposite directions, lengthening. And then we'll send that left foot all the way through between the hands. Alan's gonna drop that back knee. Ashley and I are gonna stay in our low lunge. Fingers are spread, framing the foot. Shoulders roll back, chest is lifted. So what I mean by that back leg being engaged is if I came around and wanted to sit on the back of your knee, I could. That's how strong that quadricep is. You're really pulling up on the front of that leg. And everybody's gonna drop to the back knee. Now we start our bend. So we take that left knee, start to draw it out over the ankle. So that back knee is not on the kneecap. You're rolling towards the top of it. Send that front knee out. And then shoulders roll back, chest is lifted. Breathing through the front of the right hip. Ashley and I are gonna take it up. We're gonna walk the hands to the knee. Shoulders roll back, sink into that front knee as you arch away from it. And your fullest expression, those arms come up. You could think about the pinkies rolling in towards each other. Your gaze can be straight out or up to the hands for your fullest expression. And release it down. Extend that left leg all the way out, all the way up to balance, hands on the hips, shoulders roll back, flexing through the foot. Take a deep breath, inhale. On the exhale, reach the chin out over the toes. You can either stay right here, or if your hamstring is willing to cooperate, you can bring the hands down and fold, nose to knee. Using that deep breathing in and out through the nose, sending it behind the leg to lengthen the hamstring. A lot of reasons why your low back starts to stiffen up and be painful is because that hamstring is tight. So stretching the hamstrings are a really good way to try to prevent that back pain from coming. Also opening the hips. And all the way up as we swing that left leg back around. Curl the toes under and lift the hips up, downward dog. Okay, now we're gonna come into my favorite, pigeon pose. Inhale as the right leg lifts. Exhale as you draw the foot through, placing it down. So you want to line the heel up in by the groin. You want to take the right knee and open it up towards the outside of your mat. So what you want to avoid is the knee facing completely forward. You would rather have the knee open a little bit. That's going to ensure the hips are nice and square. Shoulders roll down and back. Bring the hands back by the hips, square those hips. And without falling to one side or the other, drop down to the elbows. We're going to hold it here for 3 deep breaths, in and out through the nose. Then start to walk it back up to the hands. Walk those back toes in just a little bit. Inhale on the exhale, reach that right leg up and bring it down to meet the left. Pedal out the feet. And we'll make it match on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, draw the foot through. The heel comes in by the groin and open that left knee out to the side of the mat. Shoulders roll back, walk the hands back by the hips. Without letting the hips drop to one side or the other, go ahead and fold forward onto the elbows. Sinking down between the shoulder blades. Take 3 deep breaths here. Now in pigeon pose, you can feel free to hold it as long as you want. I personally like to hold this for several breaths. So it just depends on your practice and where your hips are in that moment. And then walk the hands back up, and you can just fall over onto the hip. Thank you so much for joining us. Please check out our website at bccfitness.com. We host several different types of yoga classes, so you can check out our schedules monthly. Thanks, and we hope to see you in class soon.